So today, I want to talk about something that is probably kind of annoying, and it's smartphones. Uh, More focused on iPhone because, uh, yeah, you'll get it after. Um, so I was born in year 2000, quite at the beginning, and first 2, 3, 4 years aren't properly in my memories, and I don't really can say something about it. So nothing about 9/11 or about all the other stuff. Um, but what I can talk about is um, how you grew up without having these devices, iPhones, Samsung, whatever, Google Pixel phone or whatever, available at all time, basically. Af- After certain age, you would think. Um, yeah, it was completely different. It was like it was the most amazing thing when you could be outside in summertime or even in wintertime, depends if it had a lot of snow or whatever. Um, when you just could stay up late, when you could play with other people in real life, when you thought about games you want to play, variations you could do, when you saw the world, when you saw different things all the time, like when you saw the real world. Um, and then around 2005, 6, 7, there came this change. In the early stages, there were different smartphone, or better to say phone, manufacturers that tried to get their devices more in a more screen based, um, or screen functioning way, less with the keyboard. I mean, you saw that with the Blackberries, and you saw that with some Sony Xperia or whatever, and some other shit, that most often failed because it wasn't just thought through as much as what came in 2007, and that was the iPhone. And with the iPhone, you also had the iPad, the iPod. You had many different products from Apple that just began to rise more and more and more and more, which isn't necessarily something bad. I mean, there are also always companies coming and going and rising fast, and yeah, crashing fast also sometimes. But in this case, it didn't crash. It just became bigger, 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 and better, and bigger and better. Um, but what I realized, like at this age now, is that how this device like completely changed society in a 180 way. I mean, back when this device wasn't the holy grail, we were outside, we were playing, and no one was talking about, do you have this, do you have that, or do you have even anything from this product line or whatever. And as soon as those devices just became like the center point of our life, they were walk and talk. I mean, you went to the playground, there were those 4 or 5 cool kids sitting around someone or two people having an iPhone or an iPod. And if you just started walking over there, they barely look at you because they're just focused on what's on the screen. And then eventually, if you get there, you just watch at a tiny ass screen, man. And everything around you just kept on living and developing, and yeah, and you just were watching on a screen. But it was because the cool kids had those devices. And as society is or was, I think it most often still is, the more you have, the cooler you are at a certain age. At some point, it kind of changes backwards because you realize materialism is kind of stupid in its core, but whatever. Um, so when you realize that you have to have this thing to be with them, to even be able to communicate with them, because they started, yeah, do you have an iPhone? Yes, I have one. WhatsApp messaging, whatever, connected. And I was, or other people were just back there with the cable telephone, the one from which is stationary at home, or you were able to go on the computer from mother, father, whatever, and try to write an email or Skype, or yeah. And when you got this device, you were like, fuck yeah, now I have the key to the world, because now I can connect, I can share, I can produce, I can consume, I can do what all the others are doing. Now I'm cool as well. For some it changed, for some it didn't change anything because they were just that crazy, weird, or lame, or whatever. But most often, it kind of came a bit into the whole space. I think nowadays the phone isn't even that large of a factor anymore, because it's just like a given that either your mom, dad, or good friends have one, or you have one your own, because that's kind of what you have to have, or for some people would say than a brain. Um. Anyways, so I have here some two examples. I mean, this is one of the first iPhones. I think it's the iPhone, yeah, 5. And then we have something like 7, and I'm recording with a 15 Pro. And if you can look right now on this one was perfectly fine when it came out. It was the holy grail, man. You were doing absolutely fine. But when this one is around, with this one, you kind of just step down like 10 tiers. You were like, these are the big players, and these are the and the screens just became bigger, 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 and more the center of our life, to the point where if nowadays I'm traveling in normal public commute, if I see someone not watching what's going on in some very important social media space, or very important messages, or very important shopping lists, or it's everything very important. If you're doing something very important, don't feel offended. Can happen also. But you get what I want to say. A smart little device actually literally fucked basically the whole world, man. I mean, we're more focused around what's happening on a small screen. Now it's a large screen, because we started at a small scale, and it was always praised as bigger, better. This is the best iPhone we ever made. You hear that year after year after year after year. You're gonna hear it in September that the iPhone 17 is gonna be the best phone they ever made, because it's newer, it's whatever faster. It can calculate some ChatGPT answers within like seconds. Yeah, man. I mean, if someone crashes down the stairs and you don't even know how to help them within 2 minutes because you have to read the fucking ChatGPT assistance, bro, you fucking useless, man. But yeah, I don't want to start to rage too much about this, because in the end, I would like to. I don't know if anyone watches this. I would love to hear if you, for yourself, understood, or if you understand now, that the point of this device kind of was to materialize our attention span. As as long as you are on this device, someone is making huge fucking big money. As long as you're consuming something on your iPad, someone's making huge fucking big bag bucks. As long as you order, as you consume, as you work, as you whatever on a computer, someone is making big fat bucks. In some cases, it's the people right in front of the device, but in most of the cases, it's definitely not the person in front of the device. Because all those social media hours you spend on there, your shopping list, your created world in your brain, if you look like this, if you have this, if you have that, if you see the likes, if you see the comments, you are more your worth. It's a screen, man. If this screen is turned off, so many lives are turned off, and that's extremely sad, man. It's kind of even embarrassing for a species like us. It should really be embarrassing. I mean, if you calculate all those hours people spend on screens or devices around the world, imagine if only 10 hours each would have been taken together to work together on plastic pollution. Go outside 10 hours, collect all those fucking garbage stuff around, and it's more done to the world than if you watch a fucking screen, man. Anyways, I think if anyone listened to this, probably understood by now. And it's also something we already talked about in many media, in many channels, in many whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to bring the perspective in if someone's listening that maybe hasn't really experienced life without those devices. That was real life, as what you would call it, and now we're kind of in a, I don't even want to give it a name. Regarding the Discord I mentioned in the last video, I created one. It's called the same way as the channel. If anyone wants to join, link is in the bio. Yeah, peace.